feeling downtrodden, fresh kid turned rotten. I can't believe how naive that I've gotten. Over the years, seems like I'm getting dumber, reminiscing to a time when I was younger with a hunger. Full of dreams, determination, self-esteem, but now it seems they hesitate to be on my team. You know the routine, when you win and they grinning, all up in your face like they was with you from the beginning. But on the flip side, when you washed up like a riptide, fools clown by, you slip and let shit slide. Besides the fact my voice is whack, clowns is running around, talk about I smoke crack. Ain't got no homies that got my back. Yes, I'm a brother, but sometimes I don't feel black. My girl is white, my game isn't tight. People who haven't seen me in a while be like, dude, you alright? Who am I kidding? Who am I fooling? When they be like, what's up, fat lip? And I say, cool it. Who am I kidding? Who am I fooling? When they be like, what's up, fat lip? And I say, cool it. I'd like to thank Mr. Fat Lip for our musical, I was going to say interlude, but it's an intro, for our musical intro, our hip hop rap introduction to our episode today, which is, you know, I usually do a little bit, you know, a bit of the raps, the rappings, because I am a rap god from beyond the moon. That's from Danger Doom. That's is it the Moonanites from Adult Swim? Hey man, you made a rhyme. Yes, it is, for I am a rap god from beyond the moon. This sucks, man. I'm bored. Me too. Of course I do many raps. All the raps. Get them in. Get all the raps in. Chicken wraps, turkey wraps. CWRAPS. Like the ones you eat. Get it? That's funny. Hey, did you know? But today, it was more relevant than ever, because this is all about raps and punk, hip hop and punk, because that's the gist of what we're. Oh, excuse me. That's the gist of what we're doing today. It's all about them raps and them punks. You know, the punks, dirty, filthy, rotten punks, and hardcore, motherfucking gangster rappers. Hey, yo, welcome to the gangster world ag-along, where it's me, my people, my bitches, my guns, and my cars. My dogs don't care, they'll kill these rap stars. I like riding around with a gangster broad. I'm a gangster dog. Roll up beside of yo and wind up in prison. No thanks to y'all. Alright, so at its most basic, I know so many people say like, I love any music except like country and rap. They not always, but they very often will state rap as like, you know, a music they dislike, and a lot of that comes from what is generally known as like modern, you know, new rap music, mumble rap. Bitches on my dick, yeah, pussy and shit, yeah, money and tits, yeah, bitches on my shit, yeah, pussy and shit, yeah, shit in my dick, yeah, dicks not tits, yeah, we love them dicks, yeah, a federal British, skitty bahabity. But then, of course, you know, it goes without saying, if you're watching this, if you know me and my content being, you know, the famous content creator that I am, you know I'm all about them creative raps, MF Doom, fucking. That's about it. And it always bugs me. I have a brother who is, I guess, in some kind of roundabout way, a musician. He plays guitar. He plays acoustic guitar. He may as well be fucking an Ed Sheeran clone for all the good it does. But he was always. I don't know. I've not spoken to him recently because I don't care to. But he was always so adamant that like rap music was shit. He would always say, and he has these like lines. Not even this, but he has these lines he would always use from his teen years and still like into his at least late 20s. He'd still use the same lines, like I don't know, just funny, hilarious things he'd say, but he'd never drop them. If he thought it was funny when he was a teenager, it was still funny much later in his life, which is just sad. But one of those funny lines was always, rap music, they're missing a letter, they should put a C in front of it because it's crap. See, that's how hilarious he is. Because he thought, rap music was crap music. And it's like, if you're a musician and you're taking part in the creation of music and you consider yourself a musician, and I think he even went as far as to like give vocal lessons to people and stuff, whatever, penis. You can't just sort of straight up ignore a huge, not just genre of music, but like movement within music. Like hip hop is fucking gigantic, and that's even outside of like how it became commodified and it made money and I think that was part of its downfall in terms of people's opinion of it, personally. But it's so like myopic and narrow-minded to just dismiss this huge fucking genre of hip-hop, which is insanely creative at times. A lot of people steal a lot of shit from hip-hop because it's like hugely influential and good. And that's about it. It's good and I like it. But my point is, a lot of people, not all people, I'm not even generalizing, I'm just probably talking about a small handful of people, but a lot of people who like like metal and rock, the rock music and stuff, will say they love that, they love this, they love that. They'll even love the Ramones, they'll love the Clash, they'll love certain punk bands, whatever. And then they'll talk about how shitty hip hop and rap is. But what they don't seem to realise is that they're, in essence, the same. They're the same thing. They come from the same place. They both started at the same time in the 70s, the 1970s. Punk started and hip-hop started in the 1970s. Out of, like, working class or lower than working class, if there is such a thing, the lower classes being disenfranchised and put upon, and then creating these genres of music that came out of like youth and energy, and for all the clichéedness of it, fighting against the system, and punk and hip hop were born out of the exact same thing of people sort of taking control, taking ownership of their creativity and using that creativity to like speak out against all the fucking horrific, horrible systems that are in place specifically to put people down because they're piles of shit, the systems. And I think it speaks to cultural differences almost very clearly. Like when when white people are fighting the system and they get angry about something, they scream and yell. Not all punk is screaming, yelling punk, but the basic idea, the stereotype of of punk music is spitting, screaming, and yelling. That seems to me so like it makes sense. Of course, yeah, if white people are gonna do music like that, it's gonna be screaming and yelling, like the Karens of the world. And then when hip hop traditionally is black music, it's music of black origin, along with R&B and soul and that sort of thing. And soul is a very important word, because then when black people do the same kind of thing, if they're going against the system, they're creating a genre of music almost out of nothing, they do it in a much more poetic and soulful way. And rapping and rhyming to beats is like perfect for that. Like, punk is great for what it is. It's fantastic, and it's culture, it's youth culture, it's a counterculture against the standardized, fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Status quo and all of that. You have, rock music being so show-offy and bombastic and hair metal, glitz and glamour, huge parties, huge light shows and stuff. And then you've got punk music, which is just music just as good as these, grand, award-winning rock bands play, but played by kids in their bedrooms, in pubs, in garages, just fucking jumping around, breaking shit, screaming, yelling, spitting, whatever, just being so purely themselves and putting it out there like, this is me, this is what I do, and this is how I express that, and fuck anyone who doesn't like it. I don't give a shit. Oh, you're not going to pay me? Fuck you. That's not the point. Money isn't the fucking point. Whereas you get, big rock bands, certain, bands and artists are known for, if a venue doesn't have the right kind of drinks for them, they won't play. They have I think they call it a rider or something, like a list of demands basically that they give to a venue before they go to stay there for shows and stuff. Like, they have to have this, that, and this in the green room or the waiting room or whatever. They have to have a bowl of red gummy bears, a bunch of specific drinks, very specific things. And a lot of bands have those. That's a known thing. Whereas, at least for the most part, if punk bands are in that position, they just show up and they play great fucking music, and they're loud and vile and nasty and filthy and sweaty and horrible, and they don't give a shit. They're not going to start making demands saying they want this, they want that. It's so much more pure and creative, and the creativity that comes out of it is incredible. It doesn't follow formulas. That's one thing I always thought about hip hop is, rap music, for the most part, music, you have intro or first verse, chorus, second verse, chorus, third verse, outro. And that's how a song is made, especially when you get, MF Doom, for instance. 2-minute rap song, no choruses. It's just a 2-minute piece of music, a nice beat, nice melody to it, some rhymes over it, and that's it. And so breaking down those traditions and systems of and I've always rallied against the idea of this is just the way we do, to get shitty and pissy and anal about it. The idea of Christmas is silly, but it's well, no one's going to stop having Christmas because it's just the way we do it. And there's so many things in the world that are bad and problematic, but they keep being done because it's just the way we do things around here. So we're not going to suddenly stop doing it because it hurts a few people. Why would we ever do that? And punk and hip hop very much are anti that. They go against this is just the way it's done, so this is the way we'll do it. They take that and they make it their own. Hip hop, especially with sampling and stuff, they take pre-existing music, they find one little bit of it, sample that, make a whole new track out of it, add a different beat, add some synths and some funny sounds, and they rap over it, and it's fucking fantastic. I can't think of much better than that. It really it annoys me how non-musical I am, music's one of those things I get so jealous of when people can really do it and do it well. But it's like, I have spent my life drawing and not playing music, so of course I'm not naturally gifted at playing music. Whereas some people, take to music in the way I take to art, where they can just sit and draw fucking anything, and in the way I do that, they do that with music. They can sit and play anything. They can listen to a piece of music and figure out how to play it, and I think that's amazing, and I'm so envious of that. And I wish I could make decent like punk and or hip hop music in the same way that some of these people do, but I just can't. So I sit and I do my little doodles. Well, I spoke with my landlady recently, not necessarily by choice, but she came around and we had a little chat, and it was all right. There was nothing bad came out of it. She asked about work, and she was like, "Oh, are you still at the shoe store?" And I was like, "Oh, no." I maybe told a fib or two here and there, but I in essence said, at least currently I'm paying my bills with drawings, and paintings and stuff. I do the art. And her response to that was basically, "Oh, you get paid to doodle, that's fun." And I was like, Yep, that's all it is. It's just doodles, just doodling, just doing the doodles." And it's the same thing of, people hear punk music and they go, "Oh, it's all just screaming and yelling, it's just noise. Ugh, I don't know what that is." And then hip hop, they go, "Oh, well, they're just talking over music that they've stolen from somewhere else. That's not artistic. That's not creative. It's boring and uninteresting." If you can believe this, I had a girlfriend in not for long, literally like 2.5, 3 weeks maybe it lasted, in school, and I made her a mixtape, like an actual cassette mixtape of some of my favourite hip hop songs. The message was on there. The old "Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under." And a bunch of other like really good, classic hip hop tracks. And I made this mixtape for my then girlfriend, because I was like, well, she doesn't have to listen to it, but this is the music I like, so let's fucking get into it. I'll make a tape for her. And I gave it to her, and then apparently she listened to it, and her response was, "Oh, it's a bit boring." And I was so like, I'm glad that relationship didn't last, because it wouldn't have lasted. Because, she likes her pop music, bless her. Skinny girl with big tits. Thinks of herself as a princess. She likes her pop music. And, fucking whatever, give a shit. That fucking bitch. Tell me my music taste is boring. My music taste is superior to anything you can fucking come. But it always frustrates me how people's opinion of things like punk and hip hop is so dismissive. They just say, "Oh, punk is this and hip hop is that," and like, especially with again, more modern hip hop. "Oh, it's all about guns and money and this and that." And there's a lot of rap and hip hop that is guns and money, and some of that music's even good. It's just a shame that the message is basically like 50 Cent, "Get rich or die trying." Like, when that's your message, it's a bit wanky, like, it's not the point. But then coming from, there's me, I say that in the same way that people dismiss punk and hip hop, and then I dismiss that genre of hip hop or whatever. It's just people, wanting money and riches and bitches. They should be more pure. They should want more from life. Like, fucking whatever. They come from nothing. These people that make this music. I mean, not all of them. Some of them lie and cheat and just do it for the money, even though they got money. But yeah, they come from nothing, and then they make this music, and it makes them money. So do it more and make more money. Of course, go ahead. I'm giving you permission to do so. Aren't I fucking nice and generous like that? So yeah, I sit and I lose the lid from my pen, and I do my doodles, my little doodles. Look, see, he's a punk, a screamy, yelly punk with a mohawk and a padlock on a chain around his neck, and he's a hip hop guy, a rapper, a rap musician with a microphone. He's got his Kangol hat and a watch and a chain, and yeah, you know, punk. And see, it fits in the beverage. The beverage of the week. We got whiskey. That much whiskey. We got cock. We got Coke and Cola. We got whiskey and Coke. I know that's traditionally more Coke than you'd have with a whiskey and Coke, but whiskey tastes fucking horrible. And I still get that much whiskey, but it gets to taste a little bit better. Not much better, but a little bit better. I've already had one of those. That's my second. So we'll see how that goes. Now it's time to take a look at an art book of sorts. It's not really a... But we're looking at comics again, as always, as we do, as we are wont to do. I picked these up. I had a. This is like my comic book shopping haul. Haul, Haul. Howl. I saw these. These were a little collection for a price that I won't mention. They weren't even that expensive, really, a few quid each. But I got them purely because the covers, classic Simon Biz. Shall we? I keep like doing this, trying not to get the glare. I really don't give a shite about protecting my comic books because they exist for now and they'll all rot away in the end. But yeah, the cover artwork, man. The hand-painted Simon Bisley Terminator covers. I've seen images of these so often. And I figured they were in the store as a little collection. It's one of four, all four issues, all four Simon Bisley painted Terminator covers. Why not? And look, so this is the first of the four, and that's so fucking good. Like, it's hand painted, that's good enough almost. But then like the shadow, like this is black, like all black, but you can see, you know, he pulls out the foot and the knee and stuff, and then the double lighting, all blue on this side, on the metal side. And that would look cool if that was just the metal being blue, but you can see with the shine on the skin, it's blue lighting. And then the skin here with the green hand, and then green and yellow and all kinds of colours and stuff, which I talk about a lot. It's really, really cool putting different tones into the skin instead of it just being like skin colour. It gives a lot more depth to it and shit. And then the red eye, the single red eye, is really, really good. It's just a fantastic painting. So like 1990s Bisley. So fucking cool. Like, if I could paint that, I'd be fucking happy. And the like smoky, misty shit coming off of him is really good. And the interior artwork is by another artist, and it's good. It's good 90s comic book art. There's really nothing bad to say about it. Pages like that, that's fucking cool. Fucking Terminator robot fucking people up. It's got horns. It's red eyes, guns and shit. Blasting people away. Fuck 'em. Fuck you, you cunt. That's fucking cool, actually. That's really, really cool. I love the horns. Like a robot skull with horns. That's really, really cool. The red eyes are nice. Double lighting's nice. So yeah, the interior artwork's really, really good. But obviously, you know, I got it for the cover. Oh, that's really fucking cool. The Thing from Another World. That's a painted picture of the Thing. Is there a Thing comic with painted artwork that I've never seen? A 2-issue nightmare by Chuck Pfara and John Higgins. Ah, I know the name John Higgins. Next issue, little black and white preview of the cover, which is here. In my personal opinion, the weakest of the covers. in terms of shape and stuff. I'm not wildly keen on it as I am with some of the others. The pose is cool, but not one of my favourites. But it's still... I love the texture in the background as well, actually. It's very textured paint with like a wash over it. Spray paint and other bits and pieces. Still looks like it would be really fun to paint, though. I love the differentiation in colours, the differentiation in the colours and stuff. The skin, the green skin, the robot bits, the guns that are just like made up whatever guns, just shape of gun, that'll do. Which is perfectly fine. I always struggle. I wish I had it in me to just draw shape of gun guns, like 90s Image comic book, whatever fucking made up guns that Cable and Deadpool carry around. But I always get bogged down in like, oh, but it doesn't look like a real gun. It needs to look like a real gun. I need to just, give up and release myself from that and just let it be. Let's make up some fucking guns. So that's cool. Issue 3 is a really good one. I won't look at the interior because it's not about that. It's about the fucking front covers. This is one I've seen most of. I've seen this image the most. When you like Google image Simon Bisley artwork, this one comes up quite a lot. And it's really fucking good. Like it's so almost iconic. I think maybe it could be like they could have cropped it a bit more to have his head be like here. Would have been good if they just made it just a smidge bigger. If his head was here, the gun would be about here, just under the lettering. I think would work. But fucking whatever. It's fucking good. The musculature is really fucking good. It's got like the Lobo jacket and glove and muscles. Jeans and stuff, the creases, and you can see it's just blobs of paint and a couple of lines and a pencil, probably the slightly lighter blue, and the fucking gnarliness of the muscles in that arm and like stitches holding him together, and the tones. There's reds, purples, like greys, blues, greens in there. The skin on that is so fucking good. The shadows are really good. It looks so solid. It should join a crew, a so solid crew. The background's kind of whatever. It's just skulls and things, but it works well enough. Then, of course, you've got the gun aiming directly at you. The made-up gun, of course, but really, really cool. And then the red laser in the gun with the red spray paint going into the body with the jacket painted over it. So it gives like the red within the shadow, which is really, really nice. And sort of mirroring the red of the eye. That's really cool. Sort of stitches, almost Frankenstein-like. I copied an image almost exactly like this for some concept work for a comic that I was ended up not having the time to do. But yeah, really, really fucking good. And the fact that most of it's in shadow, like you almost only have to paint half a picture because like this is all shadow. This is basically shadow with a little bit over it. Just get some shit done for the background, and there you go. Like. That's really, really fucking cool. And then there's number 4. This one I really like because it's a really like fun and almost funny pose. It's painted fucking marvelously. We love that. I love how you can see the underpainting that he's almost just left there for like the muzzle flash or whatever. And then same again for the shells coming out of the guns. Like it would almost make sense that like, okay, you've got the shells, now paint them like a brass gold kind of colour, but then just leaving them like a grey with black spray paint and little bits of paint just to highlight the ends or whatever. That's a really, really nice move. And you can see he's painted around them and then just painted a little bit of like just on the tip just to give them a bit of dimension. He's not actually painted them. He's sort of left gaps to make the shells. It's really cool. But yeah, I love the pose. This is a classic Bisley pose that he's used a good few times in a good few comics. And it's a really fun one. Like doing my comics with guns and stuff, that's not a pose I'd imagine. I wouldn't come up with that pose. and that angle and everything. But it's a really, really good one. And I love the guns. The magazine on top of the gun is a really cool idea. There's a really nice shape to the gun. That's what I try to do with my guns as well. Like make them look realistic, but like make the shapes good and try to balance. Like have the if the handle / magazine is too long or too short, it can really fuck with the visual balance of the gun. So I really try to do that. And the having the magazine come out the top gives a really nice balance to the shape of that gun. So that's really cool. And yeah, the skin, the muscles, the veins, the tendons, everything in there is just so nicely painted. The shades and the hair give her a nice sort of swoop, almost with the S curve of the body there. And then his metal legs where his skin and whatever has been torched away below the waist. These fibers and cables and things coming down. So he's got like muscles, but they're robotic. That's really, really fucking cool. So yeah, I'm really happy to add those to my collection. Again, I will never ever read these. I'm sure they're great. It's probably a really cool, like 4-part story. That's a really cool pose, and really cool colours on that. I might have to actually, like, if not read it, at least look through the actual comics, because they do look quite cool. I was perfectly prepared to not even open these, just keep looking at the covers and go like, yay, Simon Bisley covers, because that's why I bought them, so I could add them to my Bisley collection. But it does look like the interior of the comic's actually pretty cool, so whatevs. Anyway, that was part 1 of the haul, which, I didn't really speed through, but tried to get through relatively quickly, because part 2 it is this Jurassic League. Oh, let me get some more whiskey and coke. Disgusting. I've seen images of this online, mostly on Instagram, a bunch. Like drawings of the superheroes as dinosaurs. There's Superman as a dinosaur, Batman as a dinosaur, Wonder Woman, and a bunch of others. It's the Justice League, but they're dinosaurs, which is quite a funny concept. And then, it's like a yeah, that's a funny idea kind of concept. It's not hilarious, but then you see some of the artwork, and I was like, those drawings look pretty fucking cool. I think I'm into that. I think I'm pretty into that. And then I happened upon the artist's Instagram page. Very, very like small following for how good his drawings are. And the fact that he's, a published DC artist and he's created this work. He's co-creator of this comic as well as one of the artists. And so I instant follow. And then he's posting, drawings from this, sketches that led up to the final artwork, some concept designs and stuff, as well as, other things. He's got a print of Swamp Thing. His name is Juan Gedeon. Gedeon, Juan, Juan, Juan Gedeon, on Instagram. Look him up, give him a follow, tell him I sent you, make him notice me, and then we can be friends. That'll be fun. He's a really, really good follow, really good artwork. And so I went into the comic book shops hoping I'd find this, but not expecting to. But I did manage to find the first issue and issue 3, and I asked in the stores if they had any more or were getting more in. They said no. But I've got at least some of this I can look at, and that's what I really wanted to do, because first page, cool. But then look at that fucking... Look at that shit. How fucking good is that? Like, it's quite cool. Like, it's quite funny and cool to have, like, Batman, but he's a dinosaur and he lives in prehistoric times. So his costume is all like leather and fur and it's stitched together and it's got like teeth and bones and shit on it. And he's on the outskirts of Growltham City. Growltham City. And so they've all got names like dinosaur versions of the superheroes. But yeah, just soak up the drawing of that. Like, if you can... I don't know how clearly you can see it, but if you can see the ink work, the artist Juan Gedeon, there you go. Definitely look him up. He posted a picture of the original drawing of this, the black and white ink, and it's really, really cool. It's over 2 pieces of paper. It splits about here, I think, which is a bit weird. But yeah, it's so... It does, and I think that's one reason I sort of started to like his artwork, because it does have James Harren vibes of Ultra Mega. Not quite as loosey goosey as James Harren seems to be, but in terms of his ink work and some of the line work he uses and chooses to use, it gives me sort of those kinds of vibes. But it's clearly Juan Gedion's, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, fuck yourself. Eat a pile of dicks. Eat a lump of poison and die in a barrel of dicks. You fuck. So I did actually read this. I read it on the train because I had a train journey home. So I gave this one a read. It's quite cool. He tracks down the bat. Does he? When does his name does come up at some point? The bat dinosaur guy comes across Jokerzard. They're like, it's not quite a velociraptor. It's the one that like spits goo, and he does spit goo in a bit. But the Joker as like a spindly dinosaur is really, really funny. He's got like the red lipstick, the smile, the green hair, purple and green coloration with the stripes and stuff. Like pale hands and face. That's really fucking good. And, you know, like this pose here of the bat dinosaur is really fucking gnarly. That's a really cool pose. This is like, it would be a challenging thing to draw. But, you know, with Juan being co-creator, I believe he's co-creator of it. It seems like it's the sort of thing you make because you want to draw a load of dinosaurs / superheroes. So you've probably been drawing a bunch of this sort of stuff anyway. Because if I was suddenly tasked with drawing an entire comic book that's like these dinosaurs / dinosaur people running around, it would be a real challenge. Like doing all the research to get the bones accurate and everything. But I assume Mr. Gedeon is, you know, that's maybe just something he does anyway. There's this panel in particular. It's like a tree made out of bodies and stuff, almost like intestines and vines and things. That gives me strong James Harren vibes with some of the line work in these like vine intestine kind of deals. But that's really, really cool. The Jokerzard has made this body out of, or this tree out of dead bodies. Dead human bodies that the dinosaurs refer to as small beasts, which is quite a neat little detail. And then they have a fight. The Jokerzard, see, he's got like the wing, like skin flaps or whatever. He leaps at him, bites into his shoulder. He does have a name like Batsaurus or some shit like that. I can't remember exactly what it is or when, where and when it's mentioned. Batwalker. There you go. Have no fear, Batwalker. I guess that's his name. Flings him off, kicks him off. Really cool poses. Really, like, the artwork's just cool and it's really well drawn, which is what we love to see. Boots the Jokerzard off of him and then pulls out a batarang. I love the text as well. Fwaff, 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 fwaff. Looping around. That's really cool. And the batarang looks like it's carved out of stone or something. Gets him right in the fucking eye. Grabs him from behind. Back suplex. Whump down onto the ground. Really fucking cool. He blows up his neck or inflates his neck and then spits acid at him. Because he's like, I know your smell, your scent, I know you. How do I know you? He can't figure out. He's got that nostalgia thing of like knowing the smell of this fucking lizard but can't figure it out. And then he's like, maybe this will jog your memory. Runs at him, digs his fucking hand into his gut. Or his claw, rather than hand, I guess. But then he sees this little beast, a little beast, a baby little beast crying because his parents are dead. One of them's left alive. He's crying over his dead parents. And then he remembers where the scent is from. There's a little Batwalker. His parents are dead, just like Batman. And it was the Jokerzard that did it. And now he remembers the scent from this time. And then he freaks out. I remember now. My arm. Fucking berserker rage. Snaps his arm in his hand. punches his face. He boom, 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 fucking flies off, jumps at him, and then I guess this is a shot of from outside the cave, and you can just hear crack, crunch, snap, ah, wham, rip, poof, poof. Just beats. He realizes this is the fucker that killed my parents. Beats the entire shit out of him. Heroic pose, half of it's in shadow. Really, really fucking cool. The Batman like shadow face, but he's a dinosaur. That's really cool. Tells the little kid to fuck off. He doesn't, and he growls, and he goes, wait, gone. The Joker's art is fucking gone. So he sets fire to the tree of dead bodies to get rid of it, and he sees the little kid sticking around, and he's like, go away. And the little kid's like, hmm? And then his face just, this fucking kid. And then he walks off, walking away from, a burning explosion thing in the background, as cool as can possibly be, with the little kid following him. I imagine the little kid, maybe in the future of this story, becomes Robin, which would make sense, because like Batman and Robin and that sort of thing. I don't know. And then elsewhere, Black Mantisaurus shows up as an evil, like manta ray, fucking with all these people. But then, don't worry, mother, the savior of the waves is coming. Ba-da-da-da! The Aquaman dinosaur. That's such a cool page. Jumps out of the sea. Giant crabs, dolphins, sharks, lobsters. There's octopus, alligator, more dolphins. I love the designs of the dinosaur heroes, like the colours of Aquaman. Fits really nicely, green, orange, green with the turquoise. The spines and everything. He's got like seaweed and shit. What are they called? The mollusks and shit, or something like that, on his legs. And then the dolphin like jumps at the Black Mantisaurus, and he goes, ha 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 ha, I love dolphin meat. Whack! Smacks the dolphin away. And this guy's like, Matilda! Quackoom! Fucks him up. And then chucks his trident away. And the crab catches it. Which is a nice detail. Like, you can have him just toss his trident away. Because he goes, I don't need my trident to deal with you. As he claws him across the face. And they don't have to add in the fact that the crab catches the trident. But it's a nice little detail. Really, really fucking cool, badass poses. Nice ink work, nice lines. Love the designs of everything. It's really fucking cool. And then you've got this Triceratops who's having visions of these dinosaur heroes. And her mum's like, oh, blah, 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 it's destiny, it's foretold in the whatever times. Here's your equipment. Now go, be Wonderdon, which is cool. And she flies away on a pterodactyl, which is fucking cool. And then there's the super saw. Really cool. I love the design of that, like the fade, the sort of pale fade of his hands and face and stuff, and the red fade for like his boots. And he's got the S on his chest and everything. And he's just like Superman, really good, helping to build a village. He's really friendly with all the people. They're playing on his tail. He's got his mum and dad that are humans because he crashed in this egg thing, and now he's here saving humanity. But then there's a boom, and he goes, don't go outside of the walls. He rushes off towards the boom and sees Giganta and Brontosaurus, which is really, really fucking cool. Love that, the Bizarro version of Super Saw. Purple is really, really nice. I like the faded parts of it. Really fucking cool. Like, if you're going to draw a comic, this is the comic you want to draw, right? Muscles and fucking shit, bodies and dinosaurs and shit. So fucking good. Really, really happy to have just even one issue of that. I also got issue 3. I was quite excited. This was also bagged up when I bought it, so I couldn't look inside in the store. I did look inside and realised it's a different artist. I don't know how many issues Juan Gedeon has done. Evidently not this one. I might have to look into that a bit. A little bit disappointed. The artwork's cool, but it's not quite to my tastes. It's a lot more sort of scratchy and blotchy here and there, it does perfectly well at like illustrating the necessary bits of the story and shit. But it's not quite to my tastes and not what I was looking for when picking up this comic. So a little bit maybe disappointed about that. It still looks cool, and I think the colour does a lot for it as well. The orange turquoise blend of this guy is really, really cool. But yeah, not quite what I was after, but whatever. But again, very happy to have this much at least. So yeah, again, definitely look up Juan Guedion. He gets my approval. I think ultimately, besides the creativity and just being fucking cool, what inspires me most about punk and hip hop is the DIY-edness of it all, the doing it yourself, not asking for permission, not saying, oh, can I please make music, can I please be in a band, can I please do this, can I please do that. It's about going, this is how I feel and this is how I'm going to express that, and just fucking doing it. It fits perfectly with graffiti being part of hip hop as a whole. There's probably a whole discussion which I could get into at a later date about hip hop as a thing, rather than just the music side of it. And that's, graffiti is just, I want to go and paint some shit. So you get some cans and you go out and you paint some shit. And hip hop and punk are so perfectly representative of that mindset of just getting shit done and not giving a fuck about if people like it, if people are into it, if you're gonna make money or whatever. You just fucking get out there and do the shit. And in these times that we're going through, what can be more inspiring than that, than just fucking... I've got a bit of a buzz on, by the way. I finished that second whiskey and coke and I'm feeling it. Oh, good. We'll see how far we get with this then, shall we? That's all. I got nothing. I'm feeling the little bit of buzz I've got. But you get it, yeah. It's punk and hip hop are the same. That's in essence. That's what I'm saying. They come from the same place. They were around the same time. They have the same sort of message. It sucks that hip hop, at least in the public eye, sort of turned into money, girls, cars, money, guns, the club. Find me in the club. Come give me a hug. Like, I don't really... Again, I can respect that it exists and it's a person making a thing. That's the important thing. But it's not my kind of the thing. But then when you got MF Doom talking about everybody talking about pistols and gats is boring, I came with a new topic to flip you. Vats of urine. And then he sings a song about vats of urine. Like, what could be better than that? What could be better than a whole fucking load of piss? Fucking piss, that's the best. If it's not singing about piss, I don't fucking want to know about it. You can eat my fuck. I don't give a shit or a flying fuck, you piece of fucking shit. Punk sort of has its own kind of selling out aspect in a way. Pop punk is a thing. I don't want to badmouth them too much. They have their respectable moments and their respectable sort of, kind of ideals and stuff. But bands like Green Day, they're just not quite it, are they, as far as punk goes? But then that's completely me being a little dick, being like, oh, they're not real punk, they're more pop punk. But then, of course, I can go. To take a better example. You got Machine Gun Kelly, deciding, oh, I want to be a rapper. Oh no, now I want to be a punk guy, and putting out a punk album. And the front cover, he had a photo shoot, and he's set up all these, like swinging purple tomatoes, so it looks like they're being thrown at him, and he's got these purple splats on the wall behind him, and he's making a cool punk guitar pose, man. And that's just so fucking shit and wanky, especially since he's got all the fucking money in the world. He's dating fucking Megan, whatever the fuck her name is, Megan Fox. And like, it's in the same way that art isn't made for people with money. It's made for the disenfranchised people. It's for people who have nothing to. I mean, obviously, the art world would very much differ. They take art and use it to launder their fucking drugs and whore money and stuff. But art is. If you take someone like Van Gogh, who was dirt poor, had nothing going for him, but he painted, he created what are now recognised to be some of the most gorgeous pieces of artwork of all time. And you can argue the point that no, they're not, no, they are, whatever. But the argument can be made that, especially in terms of who he was, how he was living, what he was dealing with, and the artwork he was able to create through that, they are, and in terms of a technical point of view of how they're painted, they are some of the most beautiful pieces of artwork that have been made, to date. And he's a fucking nobody with nothing, and he died poor, with unrecognised. He didn't die as a famous artist. And then you get, the fucking rich cunts of the world that take his artwork and go, oh, well, it's all about this and it's about that, and this piece is going to be auctioned for £18 million. Like, just fuck you, man. And that's how I feel about like people like Machine Gun Kelly taking something like punk, which is this raw creative energy, this made by poor people for poor people who have nothing. They've got nothing, but then they listen to this music and it speaks to them. It speaks to their heart. It describes exactly how they're feeling through literally 3 or 4 chords played in different ways with some good / bad / scary vocals over the top, and it's noise, but it's got energy and it's got life and real like heart and dedication and creativity into it. And then you've got Machine Gun Kelly setting up a photo shoot so it looks like he's having tomatoes thrown at him, and then he goes home to his supermodel movie star girlfriend in whatever fucking mansion he or they are living in, and won't have any contact with his fans. And he's just such a fucking cockend for that. Like, if that was like, so I only know the album cover is him in a shit pose with purple tomatoes being thrown at him, and it looks like absolute fucking dog shit, and I hate it. If a real punk band was going to do something like that, they'd make an event, put flyers out there, they'd go to their fans, hey, be here this day at this time, we're going to play some music and you're going to throw tomatoes at us and we're going to take photos, and one of those photos will become the album cover. It probably wouldn't even be a choice. It would be like, we're making a new album, hey, should we use one of those photos we took of tomatoes being thrown at us? Yeah, that would be cool. And it would be honest and pure and heartfelt, not a set-up photo shoot with purple tomatoes being thrown against the wall for the colour balance of the thing. It's so fucking phony and shit, and there's no life to it. There's no creativity behind it. It's all, oh, well, I'm famous and I want to be a punk artist now, so I'm going to make a punk album and it's going to be an absolute fucking piece of wank, and I'll do a photo shoot in a studio so it looks like I'm being like, against the grain, and people don't like me, so they're throwing tomatoes at me because they think I'm so bad. Fuck off. Fuck all the way off, you absolute cock. Fucking hate that. Because it detracts from the genuine creativity out there. And it's like, it's in its own sort of stratosphere. It doesn't stop real punk from existing. It doesn't stop real, artists from creating. Any real artist, punk or otherwise, that wants to create is gonna create. They're not going to be stopped by someone like Machine Gun fucking Kelly. It's just, it takes something great and powerful and creative, and it waters it down into this photoshopped photography studio setting, and it just feels so fake, and it feels plastic. It feels made in a lab, and it doesn't feel remotely genuine. It's not DIY. It's done by a handful of people paid to come up with aesthetics for this fucking guy who decided he wanted to take on a punk aesthetic for whatever reason. And I hate everything about it. And that's, a lot of popular hip hop is that. Then you've got someone like Kendrick Lamar, who, as far as like modern hip hop, is probably one of the best out there doing it. Like genuine, heartfelt, creative, honest rap music about things that actually matter to people, about mental health issues, about the society at large, the world and its problems, about the guy and what he's dealing with and going through. I feel bad because I haven't given Kendrick Lamar anywhere near as much of my time as I think he deserves. The little pieces of his stuff I've listened to has been really fucking good, and I do mean to get more into his stuff. But he's a perfect example of like keeping that fucking thing alive, whatever this thing is, this hip hop rap thing, keeping it true and honest and creative. He's one of the best currently for that, because then you've got the mumble rappers. You've got Kanye doing whatever the fuck he's doing. I don't even know. He started off really good, but ego, money, the system, the machine, the beast got to Kanye and fucked him up, I think. But I think it's important to know it's in the same way that like people say they love Banksy and all of that shit. If you've seen Exit Through the Gift Shop, there's that scene where they're showing Banksy and his crew installing that bent up phone box with a pickaxe in it, like leaking red paint or blood or whatever. And then they're interviewing a few people standing by who they're seeing it in person for the first time, and they're going, "Oh, do you know who this is? Do you know about it?" And there's this one white twat in glasses going, "Oh, I think it's a Banksy. He does very very good graffiti." He almost he emphasizes the word good. He tries to make a point that it's very good graffiti, not like this horrible scratchy scribbly nonsense you see on the bus shelters. He does very very good, very thoughtful, good graffiti, not bad graffiti. He does good graffiti. And none of those sorts of people, again, the people who run the art world, the fucking cockasses who run this shit, they run the system of money behind the art world at large. They go, "Oh, it's very good graffiti. It's not about vandalism. It's about the artwork. It's about saying something political and a statement about this and that." Like, fuck all of those people. They don't realise that without all of that scribbly garbage, bad graffiti, Banksy wouldn't exist. Banksy used to do that shitty scribbly graffiti. Do I have a piece of paper? I have a scrap of paper. Right. What's one of my tags was Neds. Neds. Yeah, that's one of my best tags was Neds. I love the style. Sometimes I'd write it legibly. Sometimes I'd write it messy. Whatever. But Neds was, oh, shut, fuck that up. Do it in one line. Neds, yeah? Cool. You see that on a wall and you go, "Oh, that's just some scribbles, that's whatever." Without this, Banksy, everything you've seen of Banksy, the huge rat stencils taking up the entire side of a building, all the other shit he does, the sculptures, the fucking, the Dismaland, whatever that was, the theme park attraction, none of that would exist without this. This is cave paintings. People need to realise this is cave paintings. People take cave paintings and they put glass over it and they protect it and they say this is a symbol of time. This is a snapshot in time of a symbol of these people, these some of the first humans to really be around existing and a sign of their existence. This is the same shit. This is exactly the same shit. People saying, this is me, I'm here, and this is a sign of me living and how I'm living at the time. This is a tag on a wall, it's a scribble, it's calligraphy, it's art in itself. Without this, there would be no Banksy. But people see that and they go, oh no, this is trash, this is garbage, we don't want any of that, that's nonsense, bad vandalism, I didn't pay for it, I pay my taxes to have this cleaned off, I won't have it. And it's like, if you admire, you like Banksy and all the shit he does, these grand, great muralists and everything, you have to understand the history, you have to know he wouldn't exist without the fucking garbage, without all the shit graffiti. And it comes from the same place. Banksy wouldn't exist if he wasn't doing that graffiti. Every great musician wouldn't exist if they weren't shit for years and years and years. Nothing exists amazing at the time. Van Gogh wasn't a great artist to start with. He was a shit artist. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how to paint. Barely even knew what fucking paint was. He was a fucking minister's son. He was on a path to become a minister. And that was gonna be his life, and he decided somewhere, oh, I should try being an artist, and he fucking sucked at it, but he kept on. He kept doing it and doing it, and he made some amazing, amazing fucking artwork, which I only recently really can appreciate. You get shown Van Gogh in school, and you're told this is great artwork, but you don't see it because you just see old artwork, and it doesn't register with you, and there's no reason for it to, because it's not. It doesn't reflect you or who you are or what you know in life. But as you get older and maybe learn about it a bit more, you sort of pick up bits and pieces and you can realise, fuck, there's this means something, there's feeling here, there's a lot of heart. This guy existed and he went through some shit and he tried something and he sucked at it, but he kept doing it. And he wasn't regarded in his life, but years and years later, people clocked on. They were like, fuck, this Van Gogh guy, there's something to that. Same with punk and hip-hop. That's what we're talking about today. A lot of people will turn their nose up at it. It's shouty noise. It's garbage music for garbage people. Oh, it's all money and guns. It's not real music. They steal a beat from somewhere and then they put a shitty beat to it, and it's money and women and clubs and guns, and it's not real music. Like, yeah, but the amount of influence it has, the amount of other artists, love him or hate him, Kanye West is one of the most famous people in the world or whatever because of hip-hop. He wouldn't exist without the hip-hop that came before him, without the decades and decades of people making music to express, where they're at and what they're feeling. And that's why I love punk and hip hop. Sadly, I don't know enough punk. I'm into punk. A percentage of the amount that I'm into hip hop. Hip hop was just my thing. I connected with it a lot more than I did punk music, and it was much more recently that I really started paying attention to punk music. And it's only really recently that I sort of connected that punk and hip hop are exactly the same thing from different places. They express the same values and ideals, the same troubles, same struggles in life. They express them in pretty different ways, and sometimes they express them in the same way, just in different languages, and that's almost what you can see it as. It's the same human condition being expressed in a different language and different wording, and that's all it is. And it should be celebrated as such, because it good. Because rap music good and punk music also good, and I love the artists that still do it. That still do it because that's what they do. They don't do it. The real gangsters that do it for the love of it. They don't do it to make money. It's not about getting rich or dying trying. It's about having an idea and going, shit, I want to express this idea, this thought, this feeling. How can I do that? Well, I like to make music, so I'll do it like that. And then, not even hopefully, but, you know, kind of hopefully other people feel what I'm feeling and they catch on. They sort of understand where I'm coming from, and maybe they'll like it too. And it spreads and it gets out there. It gets your message out there, and hopefully one day you can make money and you can sell out and buy a mansion and then pay people to be creative for you because you are so lacking in actual creativity. Now, you know, it's all good. Doesn't matter. You can just hire someone to be creative for you because fuck it. Why would you waste your time being creative when you can just bang a movie star and then pay someone to do the hard work for you? I mean, why are we, all of us, why are we being so fucking dumb and actually wasting our time trying desperately to be creative, to express our ideas through our chosen mediums, when we could just get famous doing some garbage and then pay people to do all the hard creative work for us, and then, you know, make loads of money and bang supermodels? We're the fools, really. You get down to it, we are the ones who are idiots. You know, there's me bad-mouthing machine gun fuckface. But then who's the one who gets to, you know, live in a mansion and bang supermodels? Not me, that's who.